In this video, I'll be talking about how to generate your first lead, your first case study with AI, completely without spending on ads. Calvin from Contigo Law LLC. He's a pretty awesome lawyer. I would let his credentials speak for himself. 8 out of 476 candidates, 8 in the bar, and I work in 3 big 4 firms. In my last business, I posted free content. I was leveraging on SEO. I was running paid ads and I grew it to 6 figures. At this time around, I wanted to do things a bit differently, and I was going up against agencies with huge budgets. And I mean, these days, everybody's a digital marketer. Every other day, I see that someone is just running ads and irresistible offers. So I didn't want to go down that route. And the solution is this, okay? I wanted to niche down to a specific industry and solve a really specific problem. Despite using SEO to rank for keywords such as legal marketing agency in Singapore, because I niche down to the legal industry, okay? In the legal industry, there is a high bar, pun intended, but I think this is quite similar for any industry, right? They would want specific case studies, okay? And I would like to bring you to this image here, okay? And I got this from Hormozi. If you are a digital marketer, you probably know who is Hormozi. And basically, he just honed down that there's 4 types of marketing and acquisition. Okay, first is warm outreach. I had opportunity to speak at Legal Tech Fair 2005, hosted by Law Society Singapore. So through that, I made some lawyer contacts, but not a lot, okay? And I did reach out to them, and they did give me a couple of referrals. And then there's cold outreach. So cold outreach was how I got my first case study, okay? It was my first time doing cold outreach, and what I did was to spam the whole, almost, I think, 1/3 of the legal industry in Singapore. Let me see if I can get that snapshot of the outreach, okay? So, as you can see here, there's around 600 prospects, and there's around 6,000 registered lawyers in Singapore. So that would be around 10%, okay? It's not that bad. But basically, I just, it was my first time doing a cold outreach, and I just relied on first principles. So I did cold outreach for SEO backlinks back then. So I just took the similar principles of scraping the internet and then doing a very blasé, standardized cold outreach email campaign. So lo and behold, I got to know this business development manager who was an ex-lawyer working for this mid-sized law firm. She referred me to Calvin, and that was how we got the first case study down. The campaign was a success, and we managed to generate leads via Meta, and that ended up with a court of endorsement of case study. Okay, as you can see here, I'm not going to show names, but this was something that I bumped into when I started ranking my site for legal marketing keywords. I did have a couple of inquiries, but they did ask for case study, and this is why I went into reaching out for case studies. Okay, so let's get back to the first principles of generating your first lead without ads. Okay, so the basis of it is this. Okay, you do enough free work or cheap work to the point that you are authority within that industry, and you really hone down an industry, because when you hone down on an industry, then you will be perceived as a specialist. So I do have quite an interest in law. Not that I want to be a lawyer, but I once faced a legal dispute, and through AI and through the internet, I was able to get a favorable outcome through our Singapore court system, and I was quite inspired by that. Okay, and this is why I chose to help lawyers and law firms, because I feel that the law in Singapore should be better marketed so that people are aware of their rights, are aware of what they're entitled to, and basically just have a better understanding of how our legal processes and our laws work in Singapore. Okay, I went about this in quite dramatic fashion, and I would say this is an outdated fashion. Okay, I use this directory. So if you think from first principles, you could just look at other directories for other niches that you are looking for, and I use this web scraper that you can download for free. Okay, it's entirely free. Web scraper. Let's see if I can find this for you. Okay, web scraper. Cool. Okay, oh yeah, it's webscraper.io. So this is the free software or plugin I use to scrape the entire of this directory. And even today, right, you don't even have to do this. I'm going to show you a more advanced method that I've been playing around with. So okay, so as you can see, I have my Claude terminal set up here. I mean, this is amazing, right? What AI you can do today, and I mean, they have quite a funny term for this. It's called vibe coding. You can go like, I want to scrape. Okay, I'm just giving an example here, a very simple example that I went on to use this method to actually scrape more directories. Okay, so you can do it the more manual way, and this free clone plugin isn't difficult to use. What you can do is to download Python and just launch it from idle. Okay, So this is the most basic of code editors. You can go a new file and you can copy this and you can just play around with this and then run it from a terminal or just run it from here. And you are surprised, you will be surprised that you will be able to get quite good results. I've been getting amazing results with this, which I'll talk about in further videos on. And I personalize each email using AI as well for lead generation. Okay, so for those that are not inundated with outreach softwares, right? So I use Mailshake, okay? So for Mailshake, what you really want is to have somewhat of a personalized outreach to sort of get by the spam filters. Everybody is doing this, right? So you can imagine that spam filters and Google and email boxes they're quite sensitive when it comes to outreach campaigns. Okay, so how I outreach, you want each email to be sort of personalized, but then again, you have hundreds and hundreds of emails. So is it really rational to personalize every single email, or you can use AI to help you in this process? I will talk about this in future videos. I'm just trying to insert the ideas of how you can actually use free LLMs and come up with very basic scripts. Okay, so for those that are not inundated, this is idle. It's free. Just Google idle Python and it's 100% free, and just follow instructions or go to YouTube and you will be able to run basic Python scripts, actually pretty advanced Python scripts through idle itself. I've just been using idle. It's amazing. Okay, so this is another niche, right? Psychology. I managed to script all registered psychologists in Singapore. It's amazing what you can do. Once you've had the data and then you want to process the data, right? It's as simple as this, right? You can go like code me a script where I have domain name, firm name, and email, okay? And find me APIs where you can go to Google to research on that individual's profile and use an LLM, perhaps use Gemini to personalize the email with me code here. Okay, so yep, here you go. Okay, so it's literally copy and paste, and Gemini is free. Just go to Gemini Studios and it's a free account. Of course, there's a limit per day. You can't overuse it. This rate limit. As you can see, I have been using it. Okay, let this load. Yep, as you can see, I've been using it and it's been hitting the rate per minute and rate per day for the last 7 days. I've been using it quite consistently and getting results. Okay, I'll talk about this in another video. Today, what I've shown you is that first you can scrape big directories with AI using the manual way, which is a free Chrome plugin, which is what I did at first. So I managed to extract all the data here. What the scraper does is it goes in and it extracts all these details as well. Okay, so you have an Excel sheet. So basically you are just getting data like this. Okay, once you have data like this, you can move on to process and write another script for the bot, to agentic AI, right? We don't call it bot, right? To go to the website, look for the email, look for the name, and analyze the law firm, script for the number of lawyers, so on and so forth. There's so many things that you can do. Okay, this was the process of how I got my first case study, and I believe the first time I did it, it was not personalized. Yes, it was not personalized as well, and I hit into many spam filters, and I was just emailing any lawyer that I could get my hands on. I just specifically look for managing directors and partners of law firms. Okay, so what you want to do is to build up this process and use AI to help you as a researcher, as a scraper, as your analyzer, so that you can come up with a more targeted list. Okay, and through this, you are able to scale technically any B2B outreach campaign in almost any industry. And the better you are at prompting AI and working with different APIs such as Gemini, Apify. So this is a pretty good scraper as well that bypasses a lot of the scraping anti-bot software. I mean, I use Grok as well. Okay, they are free public LLMs that you can access. It's pretty powerful. Okay, and it doesn't take a genius, right? I'm showing you do it without even hosting your own end-to-end AI workflow. I just launch everything from an idle notebook, and I do it in batches. Okay, because when you process, like for example, 20 lines of data and it doesn't work, you don't really want to build up the whole workflow first. Okay, and I think it's more interesting to understand AI and code from a first principles perspective and learn how to process data by batch. And if desired, you can go and build up end-to-end and with the you can use the front-end facing platforms. Okay, I hope that I illustrated how to generate leads using AI without spending ads, without and just using cold outreach, okay, and using AI and using simple tools like idle free LLMs and free APIs to get AI to be your scraper, to your researcher and analyzer as well, okay. And in the next video, perhaps I will show you how to use AI to help you personalize these outreach messages, okay.